Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to our channel, where we provide useful spiritual insights to help you navigate your twin flame journey. There is a moment on every twin flame journey when everything seems to be coming together. The signs are stronger, the connection feels deeper, dreams become more vivid, synchronicities more frequent, and your heart starts to whisper that reunion is close. But just when you think union is around the corner, something unexpected happens. It feels like a storm has arrived out of nowhere. A wave of emotion hits, old fears surface, doubts creep in, confusion makes you question everything you've worked so hard to believe. It's not a setback, it's the final test. This final test isn't designed to punish you. It's not here to hurt you or make you suffer. Instead, it's the universe's way of asking, are you truly ready? Have you become the version of yourself who can hold this divine connection with grace, strength, and clarity? Can you embody love in its purest form without falling back into fear or ego? For those walking the path of twin flames, this last hurdle can be the most intense. It often feels unfair or even cruel, especially after all the healing inner work and surrender you've already done. But in truth, this phase is sacred. It is the threshold between longing and fulfillment. It's where illusions dissolve and where the heart is purified. And those who pass through it find themselves aligned not just with their twin flame, but with their higher self. Today, let's walk through the different layers of this final test so you can recognize it when it comes. Understanding what it looks like, why it's necessary, and how to move through it will help you face it with clarity and courage. This isn't just about reaching union. It's about becoming someone who no longer depends on it. Someone who carries peace, whether in togetherness or apart. Let's explore what this final test looks like and what it calls out from within you. Number 1, facing the illusion of control. One of the first and hardest aspects of the final test is surrendering the need to control the outcome. Even those who believe they've surrendered often find hidden corners of resistance within themselves. It's natural to want certainty, to want timelines, to want to know when and how union will happen. But the universe uses this moment to challenge every last trace of attachment to control. This isn't about letting go of your twin flame. It's about releasing the illusion that you can force divine timing, manipulate outcomes, or bend the path to fit your expectations. The deeper truth is that the energy of union is only accessible when both souls are vibrating from a place of trust, and trust cannot coexist with control. During this test, you may find everything slowing down or falling silent. Your twin may pull back, or you may feel like they're further away than ever before. You may feel like all the signs have stopped. This is intentional. It's the universe removing the outer feedback so you can turn inward. Can you still stay rooted in love without reassurance? Can you still believe without needing proof? Many feel frustrated here. They try to chase clarity or create a sense of movement by reaching out, by overthinking, by obsessing. But the test isn't doing the opposite. It's in sitting still even when it's uncomfortable. It's in breathing through the unknown and allowing things to unfold in divine order. Let yourself remember that the most powerful love doesn't cling. It trusts. And the most sacred connections don't need constant chasing. They move with grace. When you drop the need to control, you begin to align with the energy of true union, one that flows naturally, not forcefully. Number 2, releasing the old identity. Another key part of the final test is shedding the last layer of who you used to be. The twin flame journey transforms you from the inside out, but often there are still fragments of the old self clinging on. The version of you that believed you weren't good enough, the one that feared rejection, the one who still sought validation through love. This stage is deeply uncomfortable because it asks you to let go of the identities you once used to feel safe. You may feel like your emotions are being stripped raw. Old insecurities may surface one last time. Not because you haven't healed them, but because the universe wants to know, will you choose your truth over your past? It's not uncommon to feel lost during this stage, like you don't quite recognize yourself anymore. This is a sign of growth. You are in between versions of yourself, no longer who you were, but not yet fully embodied in who you're becoming. And that gap can feel disorienting. The test is this. Will you continue holding on to outdated beliefs about yourself, or will you fully step into the soul you were always meant to be? Will you stop seeking your worth through your twin flame's actions and begin seeing yourself through your soul's eyes? This part of the test often brings emotional release. You may cry unexpectedly. You may feel waves of grief, anger, or fear. Let it move through you. Don't fight it. These are not setbacks. They are clearings. Every emotion that rises is something leaving your field. Every tear is a doorway opening into your next version. The more you release the old self, the more space you create for union to enter. Union can only happen between two souls who are standing in their full light, not hiding behind wounds, stories, or masks. Number 3, mastering emotional neutrality. This phase of the final test teaches emotional mastery. Not detachment, but neutrality. There's a difference. Detachment is about not caring. Neutrality is about caring deeply, but not being consumed by the outcome. It is about finding emotional balance, even when things feel uncertain. When you're nearing union, the universe often brings emotionally triggering situations. Sometimes they come through your twin flame, other times through people or events that feel unrelated. These triggers are not random. They are opportunities to show that you are no longer reactive, that you can hold your center no matter what's happening outside you. This doesn't mean you won't feel anything. It means you no longer spiral. You no longer let external events pull you off your path. You can feel deeply, but respond from wisdom rather than fear. You no longer argue to prove a point. You no longer seek validation through conflict. You no longer beg for love. You stand in it. In this space, your heart opens wider than ever before, but your sense of self remains intact. You no longer make your twin flame responsible for your peace. You create it within you. You learn to observe emotions without being overtaken by them. You begin to see each trigger as a messenger, not a punishment. This is a profound shift, because once you become emotionally neutral, you create safety within your energy field, and union cannot occur without emotional safety. Your twin flame needs to feel that they can return without being met with fear, blame, or chaos. They need to feel your groundedness, your steadiness, your peace. The final test is asking, can you be that safe place? Can you love without needing to control? Can you feel without being shaken? Number 4, standing in full self-worth. Perhaps the most beautiful and challenging part of the final test is stepping into full self-worth. For many on this path, unworthiness has been a recurring theme. Whether it came from childhood, past relationships, or karmic patterns, the feeling of not being good enough often runs deep. But union cannot arrive where unworthiness still lives. Not because the universe is cruel, but because union amplifies everything, including what you haven't healed. If you still believe you aren't worthy of love, you'll sabotage the connection. You'll question their love. You'll test it. You'll push it away out of fear. So before union comes, the universe gives you a moment to choose yourself. Fully, completely, without hesitation. This might look like walking away from situations that don't honor you, saying no to connections that drain you, refusing to shrink yourself to keep the peace. It's not always dramatic, it's quiet, subtle, and powerful. It's in how you speak to yourself, how you care for your body, how you choose peace over chaos. The test here is simple. Will you finally believe that you are enough? Will you stop chasing love and start being it? Will you stop waiting for someone to choose you and realize that you've already been chosen by your own soul? This shift in energy changes everything. Your twin flame feels it. The entire field between you begins to soften. The neediness dissolves. The longing becomes peace. Because the moment you choose yourself, you send out a frequency that says, I am whole. And true union can only meet you there. Number 5, choosing love over fear. At its core, the final test is about love versus fear. The twin flame journey brings moments of intense love, but also deep fear. Fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear that it's all in your head, fear that you'll never reunite. These fears aren't wrong, they're human. But the final test asks, will you let fear drive your actions, or will you choose love even when it's hard? Love, in this context, doesn't mean romantic gestures or fairy tale endings. It means choosing to keep your heart open. It means staying compassionate, even when hurt. It means responding with softness, even when fear tells you to protect yourself with anger or silence. You may be tested through silence from your twin flame. You may face a situation where they say something painful or confusing. You may see them with someone else. These moments are agonizing, but they are also defining. Because in that space, you choose who you are. Will you let fear close your heart, or will you stand in love, not just for them, but for yourself? This doesn't mean tolerating mistreatment. It means setting boundaries without bitterness. It means expressing your truth without blame. It means walking away when needed, not to punish them, but to honor your own energy. When you can love without attachment, when you can speak without control, when you can let go without anger, that is when you've passed this part of the test. The soul who chooses love in the face of fear becomes magnetic, becomes whole, and it is from that wholeness that true reunion is born. Number 6, trusting the unknown. The final test always carries an element of the unknown. It's part of the design. The path becomes unclear. The signs seem inconsistent. The communication may break down. What once felt certain now feels like a mystery. This isn't a failure. This is the universe inviting you into deep trust. This is often the most difficult part, because after all the progress, you may feel like you've taken 10 steps back. You may feel abandoned, forgotten, or even misled. But nothing is lost. Nothing is broken. You are simply being invited to walk by faith, not by sight. Here the test is, can you keep your heart open even when the path is hidden? Can you stay in alignment even when you feel alone? This is where you build spiritual muscle, where you stop depending on outer signs and start feeling the truth within you, where your connection to the universe becomes your compass. Not timelines, not messages, not physical contact. This doesn't mean giving up hope. It means giving up the need to predict, the need to control. It means embracing the mystery, knowing that even in the silence, things are aligning in your favor. When you trust the unknown, you walk like someone who knows their destination is secure, even if the road is foggy. And the universe responds to that energy. It brings clarity when you least expect it. It brings reunion when your soul is truly ready to receive it. Number 7, holding the frequency of union before it arrives. The final and most sacred part of the test is living in the energy of union before it physically manifests. This means embodying the love, peace, and wholeness that union represents, even before your twin flame is in your arms. This is not about pretending or forcing positivity. It's about deeply aligning with the version of you who is already whole, who is already loved, who is already connected to their twin on a soul level. When you hold this frequency, your outer world begins to shift. You stop chasing, you stop longing, you begin to live with joy, purpose, and grace. You become magnetic, not because you're trying, but because your energy is settled, stable, and radiant. You become the embodiment of union. And in that space, your twin flame feels the pull, not from desperation, but from love. This part of the test asks, can you live as though the love you seek is already within you? Can you radiate the energy of union in your thoughts, your actions, your choices? When you can, you signal to the universe that you're no longer waiting, you're living. And that's when union becomes inevitable. The final test before union is not a punishment. It's a sacred initiation, a rite of passage that prepares your soul to receive the connection it was always destined for. It strips away illusions. It clears what no longer serves. It demands truth, strength, and love. If you're in this space now feeling confused, uncertain, or exhausted, know that you are not lost. You are closer than you've ever been. Every emotion is a clearing. Every silence is an invitation inward. Every test is a doorway to your higher self. Keep walking, keep loving, keep choosing yourself. You don't need to force anything. You only need to become everything your soul already is. The moment you pass the test, union stops being something you wait for. It becomes something you live from. And from that space, miracles unfold. Not because you chased them, but because you became them.